Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts and experiences using iHerb's house brands. Yes, house brands like the Sephora house brand, like the Ulta house brand, like Great Value at Walmart. I guess you guys know what a house brand is. Okay, great, we can move on. These products were kindly sent to me via magic links, but all opinions are my own, and I think what we'll do for this video is we'll start with the pros, we just had this conversation, the points that you could take as either a pro or con, and then I'll share with you my experience using the 3 different brands. So let's go ahead and start with that. So first point is price and accessibility. I probably don't need to tell you this because you know what a house brand is, but yes, these are very affordable products. And not only that, but I noticed that iHerb always has incredible sales, right? I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. So I was seeing up to 40% off the already low prices. A $15 product marked down 40%, $9. $9 for a skincare product, that's pretty incredible. Also accessibility. So I'm picking this up from looking at the reviews. I noticed that the reviews are from all over the world, and that really means a lot to me because, you know, one thing that I suspect that other skincare enthusiasts like myself who are from the US tend to do is to kind of assume that people across the entire world have access to the products that we're talking about, and sometimes that is just not the case. ColourPop is a good example here. People in the US just think that we can get on YouTube and say, oh my gosh, you guys, $12 for a ColourPop palette, this is what you should be buying, forget everything else. And then it turns out that our worldwide friends are like, it is not $12 for me. On the topic of potency of the products, this one is such a pro or con depending on where you are in your skincare journey, but I definitely think that these are more beginner-friendly products. I'm just gonna go ahead and be really upfront and clear about this one because I think it's a very important point. You know, if you are somebody who is using and loving The Ordinary, if you're using the 30% peel, for example, these are going to be much more mild products. But again, if you are a beginner, this could be perfect for you because I would never in a million years recommend The Ordinary's peeling solution for a beginner. Along with that, these brands are not fragrance-free, which some people enjoy and some people definitely do not, although do know that the second brand I'm going to talk about, Sympli Beautiful, they do not use the word fragrance on their packaging, which means if you have a very specific allergy but you don't mind scent, that's going to be a brand that will work out much better for you, as you can take a look at that ingredients list and see if it has your allergen in it or not. And I'm sure you guys already know this if you are an iHerb customer, but something I really appreciate about the iHerb website is that they tell you the expiration date of a product before you even buy it. Meanwhile, some companies do not ever tell you when products expire, and I can't stand it. I think that we should know when products were manufactured. How old is the product that we're putting on our face? My final point is one that I'm a little confused about. Maybe if iHerb stumbles upon this video, they can clarify this one, but I was trying to figure out the cruelty-free status of these 3 brands, and it was very easy to confirm the first 2, but I'm not so sure on Radiant Soul. I couldn't find that information. I also know that the first 2 brands are more natural-oriented, no parabens, no sulfates, no phthalates, whereas again, I couldn't find that information with the 3rd brand. And one more thing before we get into this video, how I used these products. So since, like I said, these products do contain fragrance, I was a little more cautious in approaching these. I found that if I switch my entire skincare routine to all scented products, it can end terribly. However, I'm usually able to incorporate a couple of scented products into my routine as long as most of it is unscented. So that's what I did. I've tested out all of these products, but with great caution so I don't mess up my skin and not have a good review. It doesn't make for a good review and it makes a lot of people mad. So getting into the product reviews, and I'll admit to you guys that I do kind of have these sorted from favorite to least favorite. Yeah, my favorite of the 3 was PrescriptSkin. So here's what the description of PrescriptSkin is on the iHerb website: professional strength, comprehensive skincare solutions. You know, this brand reminds me of old Dermalogica or any of the brands that have very, you know, a very spa-like appearance. The percentage of the actives listed. Of course, that's going to be my favorite of the brands because you all know by now that I absolutely love knowing how much of active ingredients I'm using. So this right here is the glycolic cream, 5%, probably my favorite product out of everything. This is an odd minor detail, but I actually really liked that these don't come in boxes. It just ends up being more for me to throw away, and as long as products don't come in a box, the ingredients are always right on the packaging, which I nerd out to. I will sit there putting this on while reading the ingredients for the 10th time. It comes with a little scoop that kind of stays in place in the lid, and then you've got your product inside. It's definitely a thicker cream, which also goes very well on my dry skin. I really enjoyed this one. You know, not too long ago, I had finished off another 5% glycolic, I think glycolic night cream from the brand Nola Skin Essentials. So I admit I was kind of looking for a product to replace that, as I did enjoy that. You know, I've got slightly more reactive skin. 5% glycolic is a great level for my skin. And it's a great ingredients list as long as you're okay with the fragrance ingredients in here. So safflower seed oil is the second ingredient, followed by glycolic acid and then by glycerin. Again, definitely not one for sensitive skin. It does have lemon peel, lavender, as well as the word fragrance, but you know, some people do enjoy that scent. And this one is the retinol toner, and you guys know me, you know I would rather know how much retinol is in here, but I was thinking about this. I kind of feel like it's a little bit of a mixed bag for companies to be transparent about retinol because so many other companies make up imaginary numbers. Realistically, the highest level you can sell retinol at is 1%, but then there's companies out here claiming to have a 10% retinol, and it's okay because they're calling it retinol complex. We discussed this all recently. You guys know. It's listed 6th on the ingredients right before BHT, which BHT, you cannot have it over, I think, 0.05%. I think that's the upper limit on BHT, but it can also go a lot lower than that. Kind of a side note, that's a big reason why I don't think you should just look for claims like paraben-free, phthalate-free if you're really looking for natural skincare, because I know a lot of people are not looking to use BHT in their products, so do know that that is in here. But if you're fine with that and you're fine with the fragrance, you know, $15 for 6 ounces of a retinol toner is quite a nice find. Retinol toners are not the most common product out there. In fact, the only one that I have right now isn't even technically a toner. I have the Eve Lom Retinol Essence. I've had that one for a while because I don't want to finish it because I can't afford to repurchase it. So, you know, it's nice to find an affordable option such as this one. Next up, we have the brand Sympli Beautiful, which is going to be the more natural of the 3 brands. And out of the 2 products that I tried, my favorite, and actually probably my second favorite out of all of these products, was this one right here, the Revitalizing Vitamin A Complex. This is a vitamin A serum that contains bakuchiol, and I've talked for a while on this channel about enjoying bakuchiol as a retinol alternative. Also, some other forms of vitamin A in here. We've got retinol palmitate, which I don't personally count on to convert all the way to retinoic acid. Same thing with the wild carrot extract in here. That's going to give you antioxidants, but I wouldn't personally count on it as retinoic acid. However, with bakuchiol is interesting. We've seen some research that suggests it may activate the same receptors as retinol. On my skin, I've noticed that it seems to help more with smoothing and not as much with acne as plain old retinol, Differin, what have you. But I gotta say, this really is a nice alternative to retinol because, you know, not everybody wants to use retinol. The catch is a lot of these bakuchiol products are rather pricey, whereas this one is $17 for an ounce. This right here is the Coconut Smoothing Micro Polish. Now, when I saw this in the box, you guys know I got excited because I actually do really enjoy physical exfoliation. However, I feel like I've got to make some points about this product. So the exfoliation in this product is a combination of sodium bicarbonate and jojoba esters. I know that there are certain ingredients that people do not like to see in their skincare products because they've heard how bad it is to put those ingredients directly on your skin. And some examples of this would be lemon, which is extremely acidic. You don't ever want to put lemon oil or lemon directly onto your skin. Also, baking soda. Baking soda is extremely alkaline, and you don't ever want to put baking soda onto your skin. However, both of those ingredients can be used to adjust the pH. However, with that being the primary exfoliation going on in this product, it does mean that it has a little bit of a higher pH. I tested it. I only have the test strip, so it's not the most reliable rating, but I got about a 7.5, 8. And that may work for you. It's not, again, extraordinarily high. I would recommend using a low pH toner after it. But yeah, for me personally, I gotta say I didn't really love that aspect. I seem to do better with lower pH cleansers in general. So, you know, for me, I think I'm probably gonna finish this as a hand scrub, but I'm sure there are some people who will enjoy it. And that brings us to Radiant Soul. The thing with this brand, I feel like I have a lot to tell you about this brand or what I couldn't find before we get into the products. So these products do say on the back that they were made in the Republic of Korea. However, they say that Radiant Soul Beauty is a trademark of Madre Labs, which interestingly is the same company on the last brand that I talked about, Sympli Beautiful. I would really like to know if this is a cruelty-free brand. I would like to know if this is a Korean brand, but I'm kind of just left here saying this feels maybe Korean-inspired, and maybe that's the image that I'm supposed to get from the name of the products. But the thing is, I just have to say this as somebody who really does enjoy a lot of K-beauty products. If you've never tried K-beauty, this is not the brand that I would direct you to as your first Korean beauty brand ever. And the main reason that I'm saying that is because, you know, again, as somebody who has used a lot of K-beauty products, these just don't have a lot of the ingredients that I'm used to seeing in K-beauty. You know, what I like so much about K-beauty products is that there's a lot of natural and interesting ingredients, you know, soybean, snail, you all know, propolis, honey, just lots of very interesting ingredients, usually very light textures, which I suspect is because of the climate of Korea in comparison to the US, so they're usually much lighter in the way they feel on the skin. And that's just not quite what I got from using these products. But again, don't take this as I don't like these products, because I'm actually going to talk about the last product in this entire video and say ultimately it reminds me of the IT Cosmetics serum. So, you know, we've got a $12 serum that reminds me of a $60 serum. It's not that it's a miss, it just doesn't really feel as K-beauty as I expected. And everything I just explained is why my favorite of the three Radiant Soul products that I tried was the Brightening Moisturizing Cream. This one actually feels much more like other K-beauty products in that it looks really creamy, but it actually feels very light on the skin. This is the one that I have on my skin today. From the ingredients, it looks like it's pretty high in niacinamide, which is a favorite ingredient of mine for balancing the skin. And it's also got shea butter in it. But again, you know, this is kind of where I would have liked to see some of those more interesting and unique ingredients as opposed to shea butter. But still, overall, it's a nice moisturizer. I originally was going to put the Balancing Charcoal Cleansing Oil dead last because my dry skin was not loving this product. But I'm going to be more fair to it because I've given it some thought, and I actually think if you are somebody who does not like the feel of oils, you might actually love this. See, the thing is, it is so hard for me to wrap my head around even coming close to imagining that because I love oils. I love oils. I love everything about them. I love smothering myself in them. I love smelling them, unscented or not. I love oils. Put me in a swimming pool of oil. No, not a swimming pool. A hot tub. Make it a warm tub. I don't want to cook myself in oil, but that sounds divine. But I say all that and I live with somebody who cannot stand the feeling of oil. We've had not arguments, mind you, but conversations about oils. She's like, oils are for cooking. I'm like, no. And that's the thing about most cleansing oils. What do you think they feel like? Yes, indeed, they feel exactly like oils, whereas this one doesn't. It kind of feels more like a gel, and yet, to its credit, it does remove makeup. And of course, that's the purpose of a cleansing oil. You use a cleansing oil to remove your makeup or your SPF, and then afterwards you follow with your second cleanser in the Korean double cleansing method. So again, while this was a product that is absolutely not for me, I don't want to dismiss it. I feel like I gotta be a little more fair to this. This is probably a holy grail for people like my dear sweet Ara. And the very last product in this video is probably the same story. It's not really a product for me, but I can completely see how other people would enjoy it. So this is the Revitalizing Youth Protect Serum. This is an amazing value. This one is $12 for 1.7 ounces of serum. Like I said in explaining this brand, it reminds me of the IT Cosmetics serum, which is $60 for an ounce. So it's actually, you know, a complete fraction of products like that. And the claims with this, they say it is a lightweight serum, which it is, with a combination of effective ingredients to provide optimal skin moisture and help reduce the signs of aging. They say it has caviar extract, hyaluronic acid, wild cherry extract, and peptides, and it does contain all of those ingredients, all of which are fairly interesting ingredients. So you would think that I would like this more, but it's ultimately just because, very simply, I've talked about this before, I don't love high silicone serums. Just so we're on the same page here, please know that this is not the same as me saying silicones in skincare are a bad thing. It's just personal preference. I personally prefer to feel my serums really sink in as opposed to feel them create a barrier on my face. But here's the thing, I acknowledge that the properties that I don't love about this are exactly what makes it a good serum for a damaged moisture barrier, for blocking TEWL. So, you know, again, not a bad serum, just one that after using it a few times, I was like, I would prefer to use that as a primer. And I've said this quite a few times with quite a few different brands. I try their serums and I'm like, nah, for me, that's a primer. And we've come to the end of this video. I'm really curious to see if any of you have tried these products in the past. If you have, let me know your thoughts on them. Did you find any holy grails that I didn't try? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.